Monday is upon us once again. What's good, Internet? My name is Attack. Welcome back to my 2K16 MyCareer Let's Play Ebenezer's Revenge on the PS4, fighting Daniel Bryan in the first week of September in the year 2018 on SmackDown. And we're going to spend some time today talking about Payback that happened last night. Certainly a number of things to discuss from Payback last night. Number one being, look, I know I joked yesterday about this era being called the injury era, but holy shit, you guys. Enzo Amore getting a concussion last night, stopping the damn match when it just got started, which is kind of a fucking shame. So, no idea how they're going to handle that storyline, but he had a concussion. Thankfully, all the other tests apparently came back negative last night, so that is good to hear if it was just a concussion. Don't know how long he'll be out for that. But man, like, I don't want to see any more injuries. Like, I don't want it to be the injury era. And that was just kind of a downer note to start the show off with. But I thought the rest of the show ended up being pretty decent. So I'm not going to get into every match because that's not super interesting. Like, hey, let's talk about what happened with Baron Corbin and Dolph Ziggler on the pre-show. Like, no, nobody cares. But speaking of the pre-show, one thing I did want to get into is Ryback trying to get fired. Like, holy shit, he comes out and does like the CM Punk fucking on the ground, it's clobbering time shit, right? Like, they're in Chicago. You know, you're going to get a reaction to that in Chicago. And certainly, of all people, Ryback, the man CM Punk described as being dumb as fuck in that Colt Cabana podcast, who he described as being a steroid guy in that Colt Cabana podcast, the guy who took 10 years off his career and tilted his hip. Certainly, Ryback is going to get that reaction in fucking Chicago. Like, holy shit. So yeah, that is some heel heat. Additionally, being that it was the pre-show, had a little bit of fun at the expense of, you know how Shawn Michaels was the showstopper? Well, Ryback, in his infinite wisdom, his belt said the pre-show stopper, because he was on the fucking pre-show. Like, is he trying to get fired, is my question, because that's fucking insane. I don't know. Anyway, he lost, as, you know, you would have expected. The match was actually better than I thought it would be. So, at least there was that. But man, I was like, I don't know if he's just trying to get released at this point. Just doesn't care anymore. Maybe he'll go to New Japan. Perhaps he'll go to AAA. He's not going to fucking TNA. But, anyway. That was certainly interesting to see. What else? Codebreaker. I am really enjoying the direction they're taking their IC title reign stuff right now. I think The Miz being positioned as a beatable champion is a good spot for him to be in. That was very much the position you had Ric Flair in for a long time, is he was a beatable champion, but he had the Four Horsemen, you know? So having Miz in that spot is a good spot for him, and throwing Owens and Zayn into that IC mix with Cesaro, you would assume Fatal 4-Way at Extreme Rules. And I would think smart booking, as much as I want to see Cesaro be the IC champ, I think smart booking is to eventually put that belt on Sami Zayn at the behest of Owens. That would just piss Owens off even more that Sami Zayn got there and he didn't. I think that would certainly be smart booking for that feud. Now, there's no escaping this. I'm gonna escape this. I thought that Kevin Owens on commentary, like, A, it's amazing he did commentary right after his fucking match, right? But Kevin Owens on commentary last night, take some fucking notes, other commentators. He was killing it as doing heel commentary. He was killing it. Just amazing. Take some fucking notes, everybody else. Holy shit. So, as you know, if you've watched this show for any length of time, I am a big fan of continuity in wrestling. I think having a logical progression and having characters acting upon previous things that happened to them in, the past 6 months, 6 years, whatever, having any kind of continuity I am a big fan of. So, when it comes to the women's title, when it comes to the quote-unquote Chicago Screwjob, as I'm sure they're going to call it, because Bret Hart was there, and they love nothing more than recreating the Montreal Screwjob, right? Here's where it's fucking beautiful. The referee doing the Screwjob was Charles Robinson. In WCW, fucking 20 years ago, Charles Robinson was Ric Flair's personal referee. They had him dye his hair blonde. They called him Lil Nate. So having Charles Robinson do the screw job on a Hart for their Chicago screw job was fucking beautiful. Because he was his personal ref, he was Lil Nate. And they kind of ignore that most of the time. Like, the last time that there was a thing with those in the ring, like, he was the ref, and they didn't acknowledge it. Like, he was, DQing or whatever, and Flair was there. They didn't acknowledge it. Here, JBL mentioned he used to be called Lil Nate. That shit was beautiful. So, 100% on board with him being his personal ref again, or being the personal ref for Charlotte would be fucking fantastic. Just it all comes full circle. That's great. I love it. I love it. So yes, continuity. Even continuity from fucking how many years? That's the best continuity. That's, like, as cringeworthy as it was to show Mae Young and the Hand all grown up, that's like 15-year continuity. I'm all about it. I will always pop for continuity in that manner. So, I guess that means we get to talk about the main event now, don't we? The, predictable, yes, that Roman Reigns did retain his world title, etc., etc. Oh, yes! Man. As predictable as that was, your main event was full of shenanigans. So, like, you expected your main event to be full of shenanigans, right? I think the surprising thing is that they're giving AJ another shot in 3 weeks at Extreme Rules. Like, that I didn't expect. But I guess my actual complaint here, if you want to, like, really get into it, my actual complaint is that they spent how many parts of this pay-per-view saying, hey, it's a new era, it's a new era, it's a new era, the first match of a new era, big changes, new era, new era, new era, and you spent 20 minutes having the McMahons argue about who runs Raw. Like, what? How is that a new era? That is what you've been doing for the past fucking 20 years. How is that? WrestleMania 2000 was a McMahon in every corner. Like, that shit is just, like, I understand. They run the business. As long as they run the business, they're always gonna, be in storylines. Like, when I'm fucking in my 70s, it's gonna be all of the, Steph's kids and Shane's kids running the fucking show. I get it. Like, that's just kind of how it goes. They own the fucking, I blocked your fucking knee plus. That's just how it goes. Like, I understand. But to say that much about it being a new era and having that much of a pay-per-view being devoted to them fucking in that, and then it ends up being fucking nothing. It's like, oh, guess what? You both run Raw. Like, what? The fuck? There's no resolution. There's no brand split. There's just, it's, hey, you both get it. Now, is that going to lead to a Shane McMahon Triple H match at some point, like, say, SummerSlam? Certainly possible. I wouldn't rule it out. There we go. Ebenezer. Oh, he reversed it. No. Yeah, he reversed it, because that's not the Ebenezer. You motherfucker. You motherfucker, Daniel Bryan. Out wrestling me. Imagine that. I have no stamina. It is fucked up. So yeah, that's kind of my main complaint there, is that as much as they said, hey, new era, it's not really. Like, yeah, there are, you know, there's a bunch of new talent, new guys, and I'm all about, you know, fresh faces. It's great. So yeah, there was no Finn Balor last night. There was, you know, pretty much you expected Gallows and Anderson to interfere. You expected the Usos to be the equalizers there. First of all, the Usos are like the worst friends ever, right? Or the worst family ever. It took them forever to come down and take out Gallows and Anderson. Like, they were just in the back watching Reigns get beat up. Like, and also, at that point, it was no DQ, right? So, whoa. I just lost. I hit the button, and I fucking lost. Alright. Not that it matters, but alright. Sure, I'll take a loss once in a while to somebody as good as Daniel Bryan. That's fine. I'm still in a feud with Brock Lesnar, so whatever. I think I lost to him last time I fought him too. That's just kind of, you know, he's a good wrestler. What am I gonna do? I'm playing on hard, is what it is. But yeah, the Usos like took forever to get down there, and being. Wait a minute. Wait a minute! I'm a face? I'm a face. My alignment type is a face. Please don't be... this video game, please don't be Sin Cara botching it. It says I'm a face now. What? I lost the match and now I'm a face. What? I was a heel yesterday, I'm pretty sure. What? Do I get a Renee Young interview confirming my face turn? Is that what's happening here?
What happened out there today?
Sure.
You really surprised everyone tonight with
I mean, I lost.
What was the meaning of this?
What? I always do what's right.
The one thing I can assure you is I'm always doing what I think is right.
Yes.
Some people are going to understand that, some won't. Tonight was just
I'm not a good guy. I'm not a bad guy. I'm just the guy.
Thanks for the time.
Back to you. So yeah, if there's anything that Payback certainly solidifies, it's that Roman Reigns is the guy and won't lose that belt until at least SummerSlam. And also I'm a face, and also I'm fighting Kane. New things are happening. New things are happening here on this show. Finally, after like 100 episodes of wanting to be a face, I'm an aggressive face, which is fine. But I'm finally a face. So yeah, that was today's episode. That was Payback. I'm sure I'll have more thoughts on where the current product is at as the week progresses. But that's going to wrap it up for today. Things happened. Cool. Discussion was had. Thanks for sticking around. I guess let me know what you thought down in the comments. And I'll see you next time every day for more videos. Right here on this channel. And I'm out.